Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. And before I quickly start, I want to just briefly tell you two, three things about Seeker. The the word, as it suggests, is that this is an outfit which has been formed for seeking, for finding answers, for being on a continuous journey of looking for the truth, that that final truth that cannot be brushed away, and which is the essence of our life, right? So for understanding ourselves, so we seek to understand ourselves. That's what the name stands for. And before I'm going to start taking you through this journey, I'm going to invite Shivani to share a few words. Shivani and I co-founded this company. I think we decided to do this work together 2015, although she has been on her own path. She'll tell you about it. And I have been on my own path. And then we met Kaushalji in 2016. So he became, so three of us together built this. Somewhere along the line, it became a corporation. Somewhere along the line, it became, uh, you know, an algorithm, a technology. But basically, the intent was to find the truth, find meaning, truth for life, right? That's why we built the company. Another very important thing for you to know is that uh, for different reasons, all three of us were looking for the truth. All three of us were looking for meaning. And in different ways, we explored spirituality. Shivani will tell you about her journey. Kaushalji's journey was through Bihar School of Yoga. He was a disciple of Swami Satyanand, direct disciple, and then he also worked with another great master. And he is an encyclopedia on the Upanishads, on all the major Indian philosophies except Charvak, the five major Indian philosophies, on Vedant, on yoga, on Sankhya. His main work is on Sankhya and Yoga. Uh, and then my work was based on the Gita. Uh, my journey started in 2004. I think one day I felt life like I was an idiot. Life, this is no way to live life. There was nothing really wrong with my life, but it seemed very dry and meaningless. And I started looking for meaning then. And the most interesting thing we found is that when we studied the scriptures, scripture after scripture, we found that the scriptures were not about God or believing anything. The scriptures was an inquiry for truth. And the scriptures, the main 19 scriptures on which our work is based, were all about the mind and attention. They had various frameworks of mind and attention. So our work of looking for the truth turned into a research of mind and attention. And what came out of that is what we are going to present to you. So let me hand over to Shivani once she introduces herself and welcomes all of you. Then we'll get into the main question of today's work. Yeah, Shivani.
Hi, everybody. So, every time we have a new batch of Mind Mastery, it's very exciting because it's like there's this whole new journey of potential that we're going to undertake. And as Ankur spoke, Ankur and I co founded Seeker along with Kaushalji. For me, I found that I am a I'm an Isha Foundation practitioner. And so when you follow a path, I found that it changed many things in my life. And I realized that it didn't matter how challenging life was, there is something that we can do where striving doesn't become struggling. It doesn't become just stressing. And when we did this work, the most literally exciting part about it was that, like Ankur spoke, that scripture after scripture was about the mind and it was about attention. But what we understood is that everything we do in life, we do it using our mind. And no one has ever taught us about what this using our mind is like, what the best practices are. Is there a system to it? Is it a machine which actually has an input which creates an output? And how do we manage all of these variables, take it out of this experience of my mind is a black box? I know some part of it, I don't know the rest of it, and make it predictable, make it about, if I take the journey in full sincerity, it will deliver to me.
We are going to talk to you about the art and science of controlling what controls you. And we'll talk about what controls you today, and then we'll talk about how you can learn to control it. Right? So, as Rashmi said, what creates our life experience? She asked you that question. So let's move forward. So I'm going to show you some stuff that makes our life stuck, right? The life experience is totally dormant potential. That means whatever potential we have becomes dormant when we are suffering from one of these, right? Anxiety disorder, brain fog, inability to learn, cultural toxicity, fear, poor memory or recall, suicide, burnout, panic. Now, unfortunate as it is, some of us have gone through this. Some of us have seen people around us go through this. And I know some of you are coaches, so you have to deal with people who go through all this. So anyone who neither has gone through any of this nor has had to help anybody else go through this, when things are not as bad, when the life experience is not totally dormant, then how does it look, right? Look at what it looks like. So we are some stuck and some unstuck here. So you have confusion, lack of clarity, you have irritability, there are disputes in life, there are relationship challenges, sleep troubles, anger, hypertension, hyperactivity, hyperacidity actually, body pain,
Ankur,
learning
Chetan had
challenge.
asked what is brain fog. Maybe you would like to just clarify from the last slide.
Okay, so brain fog is a situation where you feel dull, so dull that you feel confused in your mind. You can't seem to. And first of all, I want to congratulate you, because everyone who's not never known brain fog is in a good spot, right? But it happens. Sometimes it can happen even when we very temporarily, if we exercise too much or something. But people do get brain fog, especially like after Corona. There was a lot of people complaining about brain fog, right? So you can't think clearly, you get confused easily. And then when you move from some stuck to some unstuck, you get to this point where you have digestive challenges, you have weight issues, addiction, sexual performance issues, body pain, anger, you have trouble learning, concentrating, and you have trouble sleeping, or you have fatigue. So all this stuff leads to low potential or stagnation, right? Are you guys familiar with this? And those people who've suffered at least one of this at some stage in life, please either say yes or write in the chat box.
Yeah, people
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying yes, I think.
Ankur, what are you saying is that whatever happens to our mind,
has direct relation to what can happen to our body as well.
Yes, that's true, but I'm showing you something. This looks like a very diverse set of circumstances, right? And a lot of us go to doctors for it, right? But if you really look at it, everything I listed here are symptoms of anxiety according to WHO, right? That means earlier they didn't realize that a lot of this had to do with the mind, right? Especially burnout, body pain, digestive challenges, acidity, addictions, sleep trouble. All this now is recognized as symptoms of anxiety. That means all this is happening in your mind. And what this means, just like for any other illness, is that if this is happening in your mind, the same thing that's making these symptoms happen, they could be spoiling other things in your life, which you don't know as yet. Right? So not just are they making your life experience stuck, or some stuck, some unstuck, they could be heading you into some other challenges. So what does unstoppable look like? Right? When you don't have any of these challenges. Lightness, solutions, insight, productivity, excellence, mastery, purpose-driven life, high completion rate. Whatever you take, you finish. Breakthroughs, achievement, love, harmony. So if you look at science today, what science tells you is the opposite of anxiety actually is not calmness, because just calmness itself is transient. The opposite of anxiety is clarity and confidence. Opposite of anxiety is moving towards your best potential, your maximum potential. And if you look at it like a mathematical spectrum, anxiety versus clarity and confidence, it will be like this, that on one side of the spectrum, you have 100% anxiety, and the other side, you have 100% clarity and confidence. And somewhere in the middle, the ratios change, right? So you become clear and confident in some areas of life as you move away from 100% anxiety. And if you see, this is how the symptoms of this situation look like. So when you have very high anxiety, you have panic, fear, palpitation, anxiety disorders, inability to learn. But as you move better, you don't think you've got a mental challenge, but you have irritability, you have disputes, you have hyperacidity, digestive challenges, energy loss, fatigue, sexual challenges, sleep problems, weight challenges. And when you are rid of all this, that's when you see the real confidence and clarity, productivity, solutions, insight. That then it starts moving quickly for you. Right? And this is in areas also. This is not just one, it's not a gross block, right? Some parts of our life, we do have confidence and clarity. There are other parts of our life which are stuck, but overall, this spoils our life experience. So what we do at Seeker is we've researched 5,000 years of yoga and Vedanta psychology. So the oldest form of psychology available in the world is yoga and Vedanta psychology. In fact, it's taught in curriculums in universities even today as a paper, yoga psychology, Vedanta psychology. However, this teaching, it's very diluted. So we went across, we found this. So there's a part of it which is taught as Manovigyan, the science of the mind. And there's a part of it which is taught as Atmagyan, understanding self, self-discovery. This is not about Atma and all, as some people profess and say. This is very hard, measurable, material science, right? So we researched this science, and what we were fortunate to come across and do is to convert this into an AI and into a scientific protocol which can be measured and applied for your life today, right? And that's the course, and that's the work we're going to be sharing with you. That's what the journey we'll all be taking together, right? How to move you from stuck to unstuck to unstoppable, how to move you from anxiety to clarity and confidence, right? So that's what we're going to be sharing, how we do this today using this technology and tool. This is corroborated with modern science. So we showed you this. This is a paper which has been peer reviewed, and it figures in an international journal of neuroscience. We recently published, which deals with our work, and we continue to do more work with scientists to keep corroborating this, because eventually we want this to become a part of school college curriculum. So we're making this all simple, like physics and chemistry, which can be studied by anybody, taught by anybody. So how do we do this? So growth without anxiety, clarity and confidence for moving to the next level, wherever you are standing today. How do you move forward? So at level 1, we'll make you familiar with the AMS. That's our level 1 product. There are a lot of people who don't do the course, they're just using the AMS. We'll show you what it does. At level 2, that's the program for which orientation you've come, the Mind Mastery Foundation program, which we call the 2M program. This is an attention coaching program, right? So we'll teach you concepts. Rashmi will walk you through what we teach you here. And the most interesting thing about this program is the people who've done level 3, the mentor protocol. Everyone who will teach you, everyone who will mentor you, they are not employees of this company. We do this like a movement, like an open global movement. The people who've studied the deep part of this, who've done a certification program at their own will. They are, some of them are psychologists, some of them are, coaches, certified coaches with bodies like ICF, and some of them are, certified from somewhere else. And these are the people who, on their own will, for the love of this work, come back and mentor you guys, right? So the level 3 people will mentor you one-on-one through this program, and they'll teach you these concepts and ideas.
Ankur, there is a question in the chat box.
Yeah.
By Suren. So he says that he's curious if you specifically mean yoga psychology as against yoga philosophy.
Yes. So yoga psychology, Manovigyan specifically.
Thank you.
And to the extent of its measurability. Right? Only the measurable frameworks. So how do we do this? So before we talk further, I want to ask you guys a question. So if we can stop highlighting me. What, according to all of you, is the single most important and powerful thing in human life?
to be joyful every moment you are alive.
So what determines whether you're joyful or not?
That's the beauty and climax, is that joy, the way I define, is that it is not dependent on anything else. To reach there is what the journey we're looking at, and being seeker, active seeker. And part of joining this is to find some tools and techniques to reach that stage of being joyful without dependent on anything else externally.
So if you say tools and techniques can be found to get to joy, that means joy is a destination
Yes,
and something can help you travel to that destination,
I hope so.
and something can spoil your journey also. So
Sure.
what is the thing? Like if I'm playing cards, then if I have the ace of, trump in my hand. So what is the ace of trump in life? What is the most powerful thing in human life? That
There are
determines
responses in
everything.
the chat box. Sorry, Ankur, there are some responses in the chat
Yeah,
box as
please,
well.
please.
Being healthy.
People are
It's
saying
it's
breath,
it's love.
love, somebody saying love, okay? Happiness, consciousness, purpose of life, mind, health, self-awareness, being alive. So I think these are some of the responses coming in. Have
So
control on your emotions and reactions. So that's what Rakesh is saying. Yeah.
very interesting. So, there is a thing that controls your mind also. There's a thing that enables you to be happy, joyful, grow. There's a thing that helps you find its purpose. There is an absolutely recognizable commodity. In fact, if you look at the scriptures and whatever the definition of God is given, it has 2, 3 definitions of God that I've come across. And one of the definition of God, it says this is the God substance in our life. It is decisively what runs our life.
Are you getting at consciousness?
So how does consciousness manifest in your life?
By unplayed karmas and the choices you make based on the choices you have, what to do with that.
That means I must believe in the theory of consciousness. I must believe in the theory of karma, right?
Yes.
Is there a way to understand it if I don't want to believe in any of this? I want to be a skeptic. I'm not professing that I am a skeptic of theory of karma. I'm just asking you. We are all here. We should be able to. So it's so surprising, right? Nobody told us. We are all here. We are all serious people, right? The kind of people who come to the Seeker party are all very serious people. And nobody told us in no unambiguous ways that the thing that runs our life is our attention. It's the single most important commodity. It's the manifestation of consciousness in our life. Your even feelings, somebody just wrote feelings. Your feelings depend upon your attention. We'll show you some stuff as we go forward in this orientation. And we'll show you how your attention is running your life. Your attention becomes your energy. There are 3 things that are running your life. Your attention, when it becomes your energy, then your energy, and then all this becomes your nervous and your endocrine system, your biochemistry. 3 things. If you learn the way to improve your control over your attention, your energy, and your biochemistry, you will move from any kind of stuck or any kind of unstuck to unstoppable. And the proof of that is all those people who are here to teach you and many others who've done this program before you.
So Ankur, Deepika also asked here about, are you referring to attention as a concentration? And I would take it to further saying that in yoga philosophy, or other yoga Ashtanga, I think the dhyan is what you are talking about.
Yes, so attention, only one of its attributes is concentration. In the foundational program here, we'll teach you about the foundational idea of attention. We'll give you the tools to come in control of your attention. Your coaching methodology will teach you that, right? In the detailed program, we teach you all the attributes, the entire spectrum of attention we teach, right? Concentration is one of the three attributes of attention. Focus and awareness being the other two. And they are all three of them are measurable. Yeah. And the algorithm measures that for you. What we're going to do through this program is we are going to teach you how to diagnose your attention and your biochemistry and your energy. And we're going to give you tools to manage your biochemistry. And we're going to teach you the founding principles, the first principles of attention, mind. And we're going to make you go through a process in which you will accomplish your own breakthrough within this 8-week period. Right? So this comprehensive technology and trained mentor-driven protocol is what this program is. Right? So let's just look at the experience of one software engineer who's done this program. We chose this not because this is the greatest story, but it's a very common story of so the great stories we'll tell you as we go, but hear this and then we'll start talking about the program.
Attention management techniques, which we are called as AMS. These have helped me a lot. These have totally changed myself. So practicing this remedies have made me a different person altogether. Whether that is my personal life, physical issues like I have health issues, everything has got sorted. I think these are like this is a magic. One of the major shifts is in how I look towards the situation. So the handling any kind of situation has become much more easy for me. Secondly, I would say that definitely my physical health has also helped me a lot. I used to have acid reflux. Yeah, and the third would be more kind of a relation to the society, to my family members, to my colleagues. So the relationship has improved to a much better state. Now I am able to understand their situations. I am able to cope up with them in much more better way.
Anyone has any comments or questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Ankur.
Yeah.
So the foundation of this course is only from the Indian scriptures, or is it from some other source as well?
No, so the base work we do is from the 19 scriptures, right? Which deal with mind and attention and techniques to change that. But we do corroborate this with science. But our core learning is from the scriptural work.
But all the scriptures are in Sanskrit. So it means that there is some amount of translation that we need to do.
No, so there's nothing so basically see the Sanskrit also is not the language Sanskrit, it's the code Sanskrit in which scriptures are. Meaning like if something is written in Java, I gave you a printout of that, it means nothing. Only the microprocessor. Yeah, so people who learn these scriptures by heart, sometimes when they tell you the scriptures, it means nothing. So at the end of the day, you have to understand the application. The scriptures are models, okay, which is greater than what is less than what, how do you segregate them? There are many matrices in the scriptures, right? But they are written in straight lines. So what we've done is we've undone those matrices, given them numeric values, made them match, and run it through the algorithm. So everything we'll teach you is going to be with English words. There's going to be no scriptural language used anywhere, right? It's very easily communicable, questionable.
Yeah, I understand that part, but my question was more towards, say, for example, this word koti. They say 33 koti devata. So that word has been misinterpreted. They were thinking that it means crore. So we don't have 33 crore devatas. We have 33 main devatas. Koti also means main or important or significant ones. So the interpretation of a particular word can lead you to a different direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was worried
That is-
about how this
that-
translation from Sanskrit to this
Yeah.
happened.
Oh, you are basically worried about the competence of people teaching you.
I have that doubt. I'm sorry to.
No, I get it. I get it. So see, that's what it is. That's what seeking is. Seeking is a process of doubt. What we are here to do is sharing with you. What you have to do is look at this, put it with everything else you know of life. Look at it with doubt and skepticism. Apply it to your own life. Because you cannot risk your life just because a fool may be talking to you through the machine, right? It's simple. That's how I tell everybody I teach. I tell that to the mentors also, right? You
Okay.
have to look at it very, very skeptically. Ask your own questions. Force even your teachers to learn more. We also learn through this process, right? Confirmation bias is dangerous, even for teachers of scripts.
Ankur, should we open the rooms?
Yeah, so let's see what is it that we do. How is it that we help you move from where you are to where you really want to be, right? And there are various stages in which we do that. And the first one that you see, this whole thing of moving from anxiety to clarity and confidence, first part of it is diagnosing where we are, right? To know what is our current status, what is it, the mind is, how is it working right now, right? So that's the diagnosis part. And if you move to the next slide, and play this video, I'll just request all of you to pay a lot of attention to this video. It's a wonderful video. And then we'll discuss this, right? So this is connected to how we diagnose where we are. Some of you might have taken our assessment, which we call CAS assessment, and experienced that. But that is what really helped you know what it is currently doing. So Ankur, I request you to run the video, please.
There are moments when you feel like you're on top of the world and can conquer anything. And then there are those times when nothing seems to go right. Life is full of peaks and valleys. We all experience highs and lows, successes and failures. But have you ever wondered why? That's where the cognitive attention score, or CAS, comes in. Your CAS is a measure of how you're spending your energy on emotion and cognition. It's like a weather forecast for your life by measuring your mental climate. So what is CAS and how does it affect you? Everything you want to achieve or do require your energy and attention. Your energy and attention work together. Where one goes, the other goes too. Whatever we want to achieve in life, we need to put our energy and attention into activities like learning, analysis, deliberate thinking, discipline, problem solving, and systematic working. Scientists call these our cognitive functions. We also spend energy in emotional functions like feeling sad, loving, getting angry, or frustrated. Besides these two, we spend all our energy in maintaining our body. Our body automatically maintains and repairs itself by blood circulation, respiration, digestion, etc. These are called physiological functions. Thus, all your energy is spent on three kinds of functions: physiological functions, emotional functions, and cognitive functions. When we pay attention to our emotions, our body needs more energy to maintain itself. For example, if we get happily excited or angry or anxious, our heart rate rises. If we feel fear, we release more sugar into our blood. When we get sad, the pH balance of our body changes. All this eats up a lot of our energy and thus diverts our attention. As our energy expenditure increases on emotions and body functions, the freely available energy for constructive and creative solutions reduces. As a result, our learning and deliberate decision-making either reduces or totally stops. This makes us open to mistakes. In fact, we might be busy all day, going to work or being on phone and doing all our required activities. While physically we are busy, mentally we are in automatic mode. We will keep repeating mistakes and meeting one failure after another. We are just acting like a battery-operated toy. When this happens for a long time, the extra energy on our body functions converts into physical illness, and the frustration of not finding solutions leads to mental challenges. This is how we fall into traps like digestive disorders, blood pressure, blood sugar, body pain, sleep disorders, depression, or anxiety. For some people, the emotions become so high that they cannot even look after their basic needs. This is called cognitive impairment. Seeker has research on human choice making based on 5,000 years of yoga and Vedanta psychology. Seeker has combined this work with modern scientific analytics and created an AI to calculate your cognitive attention score, CAS. Seeker also works with modern scientists to validate its work. CAS is possibly the most important measurement in your life. If you face tough life situations with a low CAS score, you will be prone to laziness, procrastination, addictions, and burnout. Or you may become depressed or develop anxiety. If your life circumstances are good, but your CAS score is low, you will become reckless, make more mistakes, and can land yourself in trouble. On the other hand, if you maintain high CAS scores, you will not suffer even when you face tough life situations. You will remain calm, work with a cool mind, and find a way out. Your CAS can fall into one of 5 mindset zones. Each mindset zone represents a different way of handling your emotions and learning functions. Understanding your mindset gives you the superpower to control your life's outcomes. Each zone shows a different pattern of spending your attention and energy. Imagine you're on a journey, but you're exhausted and overwhelmed way before your destination. You don't even feel like looking at the map anymore. You're like a traveler who's packed too much, weighed down by emotions. This is the feeler mindset, high on emotions and low on clarity for the journey ahead. Now, you're on your journey, but you've stopped to enjoy an ice cream at the carnival or play at the video game store, forgetting about your destination. This is the explorer mindset, high on enjoyment, but neglecting the need to move forward. You're back on your path, but you're constantly checking your map, unsure of the best way to proceed. This is the organizer mindset. You're responsible and work-oriented, but emotions often bring bias into your learning and decision-making. Next, you're gaining momentum in your journey, learning from every step, every turn. This is the leader mindset. You're goal-oriented and constantly learning, but can get lost in the what-ifs of the journey. Finally, you're leading your journey with a clear strategy and unwavering focus. This is the game changer mindset. You're developing a system of thinking and evaluation, minimizing emotional interference in decision-making. The game changer mindset is constantly developing a sustainable cognitive structure, SCS. This structure provides you a framework of taking decisions. This is the structure that all experts build in their head. Everyone who is at the top of any field or sports, arts, profession, business, or politics has such a structure in their mind. Are you ready to transform from an everyday individual to a superhero of your own life? Your journey starts with Seeker. Connect with your mentor today.
Thank you, Ankur. Yeah, so I think we have already discussed that. And in the video also, we saw these 3 functions, right? So anybody has any question on this? Otherwise, we'll move forward. So emotional functions, we understand is like, different functions or the different emotions that we feel, right? So that's a very important function of our mind. We feel happy, we feel sad, we feel, fearful, we feel excited, we feel elated. Sometimes we are, angry. So various emotions that we go through, right? Depending on what's happening on us. And then there are cognitive functions, which are, sorry, Atul?
Don't you think that controlling emotional and cognitive functions will improve in a positive way the physiological function also?
Yes, we are just coming to that, Atul. You are absolutely right. Yeah. So if you look at emotional functions, whenever you have an emotion, you feel that your body goes through a certain change, right? Your system, the way your breath rate, your heart rate, all of that changes. For example, when you're angry or when you're anxious, you feel change in your breathing rate, you feel change in your heart rate, right? So that puts some additional burden on your physiology. However, when you are performing cognitive functions, right, like, thinking, contemplation, problem solving, doing some sort of objective analysis, right? And, thinking about rules and systems. So when you are thinking systemically and when you're performing those cognitive functions, then you have to really calm down. You can't do it in a very high or a very excited state. So whenever we are performing cognitive functions, we automatically, our physiology calms down. right? So you were right that whether we are in emotional zone or the high cognitive zone, it impacts our physiology. And I see Priyanka has raised her hand. Priyanka, you want to ask something or share something?
Um, Tell me if it's only my understanding that emotions are actually the symptoms of the physiological functions. So if we can control the physiological function, if we can have some kind of control over it, so can't we have a a better way through having a better cognitive function?
So,
It is not.
sorry.
It is metabolism. It cannot be controlled. It can be
Yes.
controlled only by controlling the emotional and cognitive functions.
Yeah, see, it's much easier to control your emotions, or maybe in its first level, than, I mean, in your physiology, you will, for example, the body, the way it is working metabolically day in and day out, right? You don't have much control over it. But if you have an emotional outburst, let's say, your physiology will automatically change immediately. So if you are able to control your emotion, you will be able to control your physiological function.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Mahesh, you have any more questions?
Yeah, I was just wondering, the craving for a certain kind of food, which function will it be? Like, for example, I have a full dinner and then still, I mean, even after my stomach is full, I still want to eat something. I don't know
Yes.
where that is coming from.
Yeah, so it is also function of one of our subminds, and it's a kind of thinking. We cover it under our system of thinking. So let's go on. All of this get covered,
It's such a
as
cognitive
we
function,
go
you're saying.
It is an
It is-
emotion only.
Yeah.
It's a form of desire, right? So desires are also emotions. They trigger feelings and they are triggered by feelings. So cravings, for instance, somebody else said they also want to make sense of their food program, their weight program, etc. Right? So all satiety is triggered by emotions, right?
Okay. Anybody else has any questions?
I just want to add what Dada said. I totally agree. It's emotion. And somehow I felt the desire to have more after a full meal is coming from the physiology that the enough nutrition hasn't been given in that amount of meal that should go in the body. If the body is nourished enough, it won't crave for anything else. Though there will be delicious food in front of you or your favorite food, but if your body is satisfied with the nourishment level, then it won't crave for anymore. That's my experience.
Yeah, Priyanka ji, that is what the Ayurveda people teach you. But they also teach you keep your stomach half empty, right? 25%, 30% empty, right? So that means that theory is true but incomplete, right? The deliberate control, conscious control, even the Ayurveda teaches you that emptiness is important. That means that's a cognitive decision you make, right? And the body has a lot of ability to survive without full nourishment also. But you are right that if you are not nourished, then that causes an additional pull, right? But nourishment is not the only thing. Emotional vacuum is a very, very big reason for satiety hormones to act differently.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So shall we move forward? I think there are a couple of comments in the chat box. Yeah, so Deepika is saying it can also be emotional nourishment. Okay. Yeah, emotional nourishment, or sometimes, what we call stress eating, just emotional. The false emotional satisfaction that we're looking at by doing the overeating at sometimes, yeah. Okay, so let's move forward. I think some really good questions there. Thank you for that. So if we look at, this whole spectrum of how when we move from low caste zone to high caste zone, and we jump from different band to the other band, how things change, right? So on the right hand side, as we move towards the right hand side, we see there's increased attention and energy which is spent on cognition or cognitive functions. Whereas when we are more towards the left hand side of the scale, then more and more attention and energy is going towards emotions, right? So, and more we are towards the left hand side, it creates the kind of impact that it creates on our life is very, very different, right? So when you are in the feeler or the explorer mindset, the way we will deal with life will be very different from when we are in the game changer or leader mindset, right? So let's move to the next slide and see how, we deal differently, or people in different CAS score zones deal differently with different life situations. So if you look at this simple, quadrant, and first I look at, this low CAS score zone. So let's say if somebody has a low CAS score and life circumstances are easy here, right? So when life circumstances are easy, you don't have much difficulty. So it could be like a happy-go-lucky kind of a mindset. You could be reckless, you could be more adventure seeking, you can make mistakes, and then maybe it can, land you in trouble. So it's like a rudderless ship, right? So if the wind is flowing in the right direction, it may take you in the right direction. But if the wind is not flowing in the right direction, it may just take you anywhere and you wouldn't know where you are really going. Whereas when the CAS score is low and your life situation is tough, then there could be feeling of this stuckness, not knowing what to do, right? You won't feel resourceful enough to come out of the problem. There'll be laziness, there'll be hopelessness, depression, anxiety disorder. So that becomes the birthplace of all the issues, the physiological as well as the mental issues that we saw. And as compared to that, if we are in the high CAS score zone, and let's say the circumstances are tough, then we look at finding out systematic solutions for that. We try to think cognitively, right? And try to solve the problem for ourselves and try to overcome the circumstance and look at that problem as an opportunity, as a learning space, right? About what is it that we can learn from the problem. And when you maintain a high CAS score and the life circumstances are easy, then also you probably try to create some systemic solution for the world, or maybe there's a problem that you want to solve and it's not just kind of restricted to you now, and you want to resolve something bigger, larger for some people outside you, some larger purpose as well, right? And that also leads to building SCS. SCS basically is sustainable cognitive structure. We teach about it in our immersive course, so let's not get there maybe right now. But yeah, here is just a simple understanding of how our response to the life changes as our score changes. And I think we have one of our mentors here who may want to share that. So is Shweta here? Is Shweta around? Shweta, would you like to quickly share about how your experience has been moving from one CAS score to the other?
Yes. Hi. Thank you, Ashmi. And hi, everyone. I'm Shweta. So my journey started in 2021 after fighting with postpartum thing. And first time when I took test, my score was 37. And my main issue was anger. Anything can trigger inside me. And I got really highly reactive at that point of time. And after this practice of remedies, all the EMS remedies that I was practicing, my score moved to slowly from 37 to 55, then 64. So once the second test was 55, then I realized that I have the power to change the situation. The 37 score was showing me that where I am exactly, and whatever remedies that I got, and after practicing those remedies, what I got, that was totally different. So I got the idea that I can change my life. So after 55, again, it motivated me to do more and more practice, and all the knowledge that we are getting here, that whatever knowledge I get from this course, I applied each and every knowledge in my day-to-day life, small, big, whatever. In my every situation, I used to reflect. I used to do observation from my food habit, from my sleeping habit, from my reactions. Everything I was observing very minutely. And day before yesterday, when I took test, my score was 98.5. I was surprised with the score, and I just want to say that it can be changed. It's not about only AMS remedies. It's all the knowledge that you are getting here. If you apply each and every thing in your daily life, if you take it in your daily life practices, small practices, it is going to help you. And I emerged as a very calm person now, a much calmer person. My ideas are like improving day by day. I got some new ideas. I'm working on my coaching business and so many things around that. And I have beautiful relation with my daughters. It improved a lot in last 1 year and 1.5 years. So thank you so much, Seeker. And I would highly recommend each and everyone to go ahead with the course. And yeah, that's what. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, Shweta. It was so heartwarming for us to know. And I
Thank
know
you
I've been a
very
fellow
much.
traveler with you in the journey, so I can vouch for it.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Shweta. But I want to warn all of you, okay, that we'll teach, and Shweta's gotten here, but Shweta hasn't gotten here because of AMS, us giving her AMS, or us teaching her stuff. Okay, we have a hugely active community. Shweta and Shweta participates in that community. She's very active. She asks a lot of questions. In the immersive program, we have sanghas, so people work in groups. She's very active. It takes work. We don't do magic here.
Absolutely.
We'll share with you what we've learned. But if you want results like Shweta's, you'll have to put in that work. You know, by coming to class is only the beginning, right? So it's great. Like, you can't imagine, Shweta, when you shared that screenshot with me,
Yeah.
what happened to all of us, right?
It was unbelievable for me too. I was waiting for that score because it was motivating. Like, I have to get there. Something. ये तो करना ही है वैसा. So I got there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Yes,
So, Shweta, congratulations for that. So just, I'm a little curious, how long it took you to, reach the first step, like from 37 to 55, because that is somewhere we generally we give up very easily because when we don't see the results.
Yeah.
Once you see the results, as you said, it keeps motivating you. Yeah, fine. But how long did it take you to reach that?
It took me around 7 to 8 months to reach 37 to 64 or 54, like that range. And from there, it took me little like longer time because I was like going through the maternity phase again. I was the second time mom, so it took me a little longer. And after second time mom, then I was practicing the same thing while my pregnancy journey and after that also. So I don't know how I did it, but I did it. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Wow, beautiful, Shweta. Yeah, so that was the diagnosis part of it, right? And Shweta just spoke about how well your diagnosis, really changes things around you, changes you, and it also changes things around you, right? Now, the second part is the energy and the biochemistry part. So if we go to the next slide, we'll talk about how energy and biochemistry really work and how we help manage that.
What's the most influential and powerful thing in your life? It's your attention. If a shop can't get your attention, it won't get your money. If a leader doesn't get your attention, he won't get your vote. And if your child or loved one doesn't get your attention, they won't get your time or care. Wherever your attention goes, your money flows, your time follows, and your energy goes. Everyone has some degree of attention fluctuations. When you need to do anything important, like problem solving, learning, discipline, you need to overcome attention fluctuations and move into attention control. If you are not able to control your attention consistently, you may be suffering from mild or severe attention fluctuation disorder. Attention fluctuation increases due to overexposure to social media, online games, binge watching, stress, and multitasking. AFD increases stress hormones in your body. This destabilizes your sleep and food cycles, leading to poor physical and mental health. It also reduces focus, alertness, learning, and memory, thus making you prone to mistakes. If unchecked, AFD leads to severe challenges like anxiety disorder, depression, diabetes, high blood pressure, thyroid, or menstrual challenges like PCOD or PCOS. On the other hand, if you improve your attention control, you accelerate your learning and move from stuck to unstuck to unstoppable. In ancient India, yogis created an advanced system to control and improve your attention. Over the centuries, these systems were lost in translation. Seeker has researched 5,000 years of yoga and Vedanta psychology and built an AI to deliver these systems to your mobile phones. Seeker's attention management system, AMS, is available on the Seeker app. If you want to find out the state of your mind and attention, just download the Seeker app and take your CAS test. This 5-minute test is 100% confidential and it measures your cognitive attention score. This score tells you the state of your attention fluctuation and its impact on your emotions, health, finances, relationships, and productivity. This test is absolutely free, and it comes with a 2-minute audio advisory explaining your current state of mind. After you understand your challenges, you can improve your attention control using the Seeker AMS pack. Seeker AMS will provide you 10 to 21 minutes of guided breathing and attention exercises. These 20-minute remedies will improve your attention, focus, concentration, learning, and insights throughout the day. They will take away your lethargy, procrastination, overthinking, indecision, and excessive emotions and move you from stuck to unstuck to unstoppable.
Another very, very major thing that was actually bothering me was insomnia. Since about 5 odd years, I've been going through sleep issues, which actually with time became so bad that there'd be nights that I just couldn't sleep. And I don't remember up until I started Mind Mastery, I don't remember having a single night where I had slept a straight 6 hours. I started doing the Mind Mastery course. I took my CAS report. I got my remedies and I diligently started doing the AMS remedies. So starting with 3 times a week, I gradually moved to 5 and then 6 or 7, if not 7, at least 6 times a week. Such a shift in my sleep. So earlier I was having a sleeping pill like 4 times a week, I would say, and doing all sorts of, Gharilu nuskhas and having chamomile tea and melatonin and just all sorts of things, whatever people would tell me I would do it, magnesium and whatnot, magnesium oil and, just sleeping pills. But once I started doing my AMS, just went off the pill. I felt that I was sleeping better, would just sleep through the night. I was waking up feeling fresher. I think the biggest change that I have seen is that I was sleeping better. I'm not resorting to artificial methods to go to sleep. I feel a lot calmer. I feel like I'm more in rhythm with the universe. I will have access to them for a year, but even beyond that, I'm going to continue with those because I already see it becoming a part of my life. It's almost become as natural to me as brushing my teeth.
So that's how powerful,
Another very, very big
biochemistry and energy is, right, through the AMS. And these AMS is completely personalized. When you take CAS test, it is something which comes completely, customized to what your score is, where your mindset is, right? So, and that's why it becomes so powerful. Now, the third part of a program. So first part of the program is just diagnosis. So you know where you are. And then you do your practices by managing your energy and your biochemistry through the AMS, which becomes a part of your program, your daily practice. And the third part of the program is the mind and attention part, which we deal through the classes and through the learning, right? So the diagnosis, the biochemistry management, plus the learning and the knowledge, the conceptual knowledge, etc., that you get. And when you apply it to your life, as I said, we will all have a personal outcome that you'll create. When you will apply it to your life, the breakthroughs that you will get, these are the 3 ways that you will kind of, see how the change or the transformation will start setting in. So Ankur, if you would move to the next slide, please. Yeah, so this is how the program kind of is structured, right? So there are 3 fundamental learnings and there are 4 paths for experiential learning and choice navigation, right? So there are 3 systems, 3 or 4 systems that we learn here. First is the system of life, which is about understanding the direction of life. What is life's most important purpose? What is it that we all want from life? What is the right direction towards moving, when we have to move towards that? So we understand the whole purpose of life. We understand whether life is random or it's predictable, right? And how do we all want life to be predictable, but it appears random, right? So how do we move towards the right direction in our life? Then we talk about the system of mind, right? So mind basically works like an engine. It's like a system. And we'll learn how that system and an engine works, which works day in and day out, and determines everything that we are doing, every choice that we make, every behavior that we see in ourselves, every decision that we are making. All of it is coming from that, right? So we learn that system of mind. And then there's this system of attention. And as Ankur was mentioning just before, some time back, that there are various layers and various aspects of attention. But in the foundation program, we look at system of attention from one particular aspect. And then there are 4 paths which you can learn, right? So there are 4 ways in which you will be able to achieve your goal, which is, process and destination goal. So basically understanding what is it that's driving my mind, right? So there are 2 very clear, drivers of our mind. We'll understand them. We'll see how when one driver is, active, how it, makes us behave and makes us deal with situations and makes us run after different things in life versus the other one. So this becomes one pathway. And system of attention, which I just spoke about, which is again at different CAS scores, from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. There is one type of attention, which is called ego attention, versus on the other side, the observer attention. And when their domination changes, their mix changes, how the outcomes or choices change, right? So we learn to change our attention through that. And then there's very interesting concept of response loop, understanding how we respond to situations around us. What are the different ways we do that, and how by changing those responses, we can create different outcomes for ourselves and for others. And the 4th path is system of thinking. Now, thinking is also a very, very important function of our mind. And so much has been said about thinking, but here you will learn about the whole system of how this whole process works in ourselves and what are the levers we have to change that thinking in us, in our mind, right? So these are this is basically the aspect that we are going to cover. And when we do this, we have seen, this is the 5th batch, and through the different batches that we have had, people who have followed through the course, done their workbooks and assignments, they have gone a breakthrough, a clear path towards the goal that they wanted to achieve or any challenge that they wanted to overcome. Ankur, is there anything that you would like to add to this slide?
Yeah, so, if you guys remember your first day at any job or your first day at university or first day at anything, right? Sometimes there's a little anxiety even when you go first time, if you shift a city, or for those of you who are married, you move into a new home or something, right? So unfamiliarity, uncertainty is anxiety, right? And the opposite of that, clarity, confidence, where does it come? Not just by becoming familiar, but once you come to know the system, right? Once you know how the locality is, how the office is, once you know how to write, you know a language, how to speak. These are all understanding of systems. And human beings have done greatest things in life by understanding system. Plane is made by understanding physics ka system of wind and, mass, velocity. So the systemic understanding of life, the systemic understanding of choice making, there is actually a system of energy. There is a system of attention. There is a system with which your mind makes choices. It's a circuit board. There's a system life has. It's not random. Only the outer events look random. And that fundamental knowledge of systems is the first principles of system of life, system of choice, and system of attention system of thinking. Once you get that, it will change your life forever. Right? I don't know if we have anyone from the previous batch. We were planning to invite Rashmi. Do we have somebody here?
Is Srimant here? He said he could join after 7. I'm not sure if he's here.
I don't know. Is
Hi.
Srimant here?
Hi, Srimant, you're there? Oh, yeah, he's there. Yeah, hi, Srimant.
Yeah, hi, Srimant.
Yeah, so in
Would you
terms
like
of
to share the systemic stuff, if
picking up from your view of sort of that system by circuit changes in the system of sort of the mind and the way it works. When I joined the classes, mind mastery classes, I had a lot of stress and anxiousness regarding my professional growth, where my career was headed, sort of, and it was taking up most of my time around. And not only time, it was taking up a lot of my mental space, about 20 to 40% of my internal dialogue on a day-to-day basis while I'm driving. While there is sort of nothingness where my mind should have rested, it was going into just that loop of how will I get there, and just the stress bit of it. And all that, what it was doing is, one, it was leading to a lot of negativity. It was making me sort of, there was a lot of physical stress that I was not able to act in a certain manner. I was not able to work out. And I was very irritable. The worst of all of this was that I wasn't able to do the things I was good at. Now, by sort of going through that course, I realized that my internal dialogue has become less of counterproductive and more action focused. So my internal negative dialogue is down drastically, and whatever dialogue there is, it's very action oriented. And subconsciously, I don't know how it's happened, but it has, that I have more time to now work out. I have more time to work. I have more time to rest. And somehow I physically feel lighter. So that rewiring has taken place, and it's got me out of those loops of doubt, of anxiety. And I've actually gone from, like, it started with a lot of anxiety. There was clarity. Now I'm at a stage of confidence that I'm ready to whatever sort of life throws at me, sort of a thing in every aspect.
Thank you so much, Srimant. I'm sure there's now excitement about what is it that we teach in the class that gets people to such state. So let's get back to that, Uncle, quickly. It's going to be 8 very soon.
Okay, sorry, Rashmi.
Yeah, so here is what we really do, right? So what Srimant spoke about, what results he got and the shifts that he could experience. So there are 5 pillars to the program. So here's what you really get. The first is, of course, the learning and the learning with the workshop sessions. So you're going to have, 8 classes, each class devoted to a particular concept. So this, which will be in the group, and you will have pre-reads and videos, which you have to kind of, go through before coming to the class. So that makes it much easier to absorb what's happening in the class. And we'll also give you a workbook to complete, attempt, through your best understanding from whatever you have read and watched in the video. Fill your workbook, and then you come to the class. And then in the class, you go through it with all the participants together, and we do a demo of the workbook, right? And the workbook is nothing but the whole application of the concepts to your own goals that you have created for yourself for this program. So you apply everything that you learn in the workbook. So we do one small demo in the class so that you know how to fill that. You make corrections. And then we also put you in a breakout room to kind of, work on your workbook again, because it's constantly learning and application is happening constantly, right? So you get support of mentors in the breakout room during the class to help you kind of, fill your workbook and complete it. And then you also have second option of personal mentoring. Yeah, so this is 4 hours of one-on-one mentoring, mentor interaction that you get. So in between classes, you can block time with mentors. You can have your queries, doubts resolved regarding your, workbook, or if you have anything that you want to ask them any doubts, etc. So one mentors are available to do that. However, the only request is you block time with the mentors once you have given a good attempt to your workbook, because then that discussion becomes wholesome, more fruitful, and more meaningful for both you and the mentor. The third very important aspect of the course is CAS assessment. So you will be doing 2 full assessments as a part of the program, one at the beginning of the program and one at the end of the program, which is, by the end of 8 weeks. And when you do the first assessment, you will get your daily AMS practice along with it, right? So this AMS practice is a very, very important part of the program. And you saw various testimonials where people have gained, significantly by that. And of course, as I was saying, the fourth important aspect is the personal outcome workbook. Like whatever you are learning, you're going to apply it to a personal outcome that you're going to create for yourself. So, so we are saying that, whatever problem you may have, whatever challenge you're looking to overcome, the root cause is the mind, right? So whatever you are learning, we'll apply slowly and slowly, one bit by bit, to your challenge, to your goal, and we'll see that we have seen people getting clarity, breakthroughs. Even some people said they've moved 70% toward their goals, 50% toward their goals. So that's the shift they have experienced in the 8 weeks, just by going through the whole program. And the best part of the program, it just doesn't end at 8 weeks, right? We know that the learning doesn't stop there, right? That likes just the beginning to get you started. So it's an ongoing journey. We give you 1 year access of the classes. So the academy will remain open. So all these, the class recordings, the pre-reads and the videos of the class, they will be accessible to you for full 1 year. Your AMS practices will also be accessible to you for full 1 year. So you can keep taking even if not the full test, the free test, but the remedies will get unlocked for you. And you can also keep working on new goals. So let's say if you worked on a particular goal or a challenge in one session, in one program, you can again pick up your workbook and you can keep doing that again. So I've seen people who've kind of, got answers to some questions in the first session. Now they want to work on something else, right? So new question has come up and now they again want to follow that process. So these are the main construct of the program. So we work both on learning as well as application and the practicing of the remedies, etc. Right? So we work in various aspects. Now, if we move forward,